Hi, Christian. Hope this finds you well. Before I even begin, first of all, I want to say I'm glad that I mean, CrossFit shoes are probably better than what you were wearing. And I'm just looking at this thumbnail of your squat here, and I'm just noting that bottom position looks pretty darn good. Might be just, and nah, it looks pretty darn good. So, just an observation. Let's have a look at your squattage today. Good. Bend over a little bit more at the top. Stick your hips back a little bit further. I think that might be a little bit better. Could be a little deeper. Getting your knees out there really well. Good. Keep your chest to the floor. Drive hips. That's a nice squat rack you're using, by the way. Your pins are set pretty low. Let's look at that rep again. Okay. Here's your back angle. Here's your knee position. Very nice. Your knee is just barely in front of that upright. Let's set our marker right here. And let's follow your hip. Oops. Come on. Good. Let's follow your hips down. And if anything, your knees are kind of caving a little bit. They're not sliding forward, though. That's fine. That's below parallel. That's the same back angle. I think that might be the thumbnail that is on the video there. And that's a pretty good bottom position. I don't really like your wrists all sort of bent back and extended like that, but that's a minor thing, and we can fix that over time. And then you should be driving your hips. You're losing your back angle just a tiny bit, right? And you're going to have to think about that as the weight gets heavier. And that's kind of what I thought was wrong with that rep there. Now you have to sort of good morning it a little bit. So the eccentric phase and your depth and your bottom position were good, but you lost your back on the way up. And as the weight gets heavier, you're going to have to think more and more about that. Just part of getting a stronger back. But these squats are looking so much better than they used to. So I'm actually pretty happy. There's more work to do. We're going to have to fix this grip. I want a nice flat wrist on your squat rack, and we're going to have to watch that back position, and we're going to have to keep an eye and make sure that this knee cave that you just demonstrated on that rep does not get worse. But overall, we've made excellent progress here. So, and you're up to 58 kilograms. So nice work. Let's go ahead and take a look at the press of the bench. Good. Slow down, touch, drive. All right. Good. Nice. You'll notice that I've been progressing these a little bit faster than your other pressing movements, and that's because they look quite strong. It looks like you've got some sort of uprights here or rack that would allow you to put in place some safeties, and so I would appreciate if you put some safety pins in. Just start getting into the habit of doing that if these uprights accept them. Otherwise, at some point, you may eventually have to recruit a spotter to help you. The form looks real good, and the movement looks really, really strong. So I have, don't have a lot of criticism about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lift that is dead in nature. Looks like the video started a little soon there. Okay, let's take a look at that again, because we've been seeing a little bit of this. Your knees actually look like they're in a good position. You could try wearing your CrossFit shoes for this too, although I don't have as much of an objection to using the chucks for this kind of lift. In fact, some people lift in their bare feet. So if you like these shoes better for the deadlift, that's fine. Sorry, I started that again inadvertently. Okay, there you are, kind of tight. I think your back angle looks good, but as you start to lift, you use your legs instead of lifting the bar to drive your hips up. And one of two things is going on here. Either you're wasting movement trying to drive your hips up, or your hips were just a tad low to begin with. So I want you to think about starting with your hips a little bit higher before you pull. And then make sure that all the energy, when you start squeezing up on the bar, that all the energy, all the work goes into getting the bar up off the floor. The bar on your legs, keep your legs on the bar. Okay, other than wasting a little movement driving your hips up without actually moving the bar at the bottom, the pull itself looks okay. Good. See, I think your hips are too low there. I think that looks more like it, and that's right. And notice that time you didn't drive your hips up before the bar level. So it looks like you sort of corrected that. A little bit of it there. Just make sure all the energy when you start pushing the floor away from you goes into moving the bar and not your hips. Bar path looks good. It's on your legs the whole time. I'm pretty happy. Let's correct that one minor error there. Weight keeps going up. You're looking better and better under the bar. So nice job, and we will progress as planned. Good to see you at work there, Kristian. Take care now.